Wardrobe for the Bass Tour Anglers podcast provided by Koppel Outfitters. Go have an adventure. Visit them online at www.koppeloutfitters.com and on social media at Koppel Outfitters. This segment is brought to you in part by Swim Baits Plus. Are you looking for that hard-to-find swim bait? Are you looking for that impossible rare color? Are you looking for great prices? Visit them on Instagram at @SwimBaitsPlus. Well, get those live vests zipped and clipped, strap down those rods, and stash away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bass Tour Anglers podcast. Thanks for being with us. If you're new here, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a comment if you're so inclined. We are proud to announce that the Western Fishing Network, our parent company, is now the Western representative for Ducket Fishing. You know these guys, the strongest pro staff in all of professional bass fishing, and a lineup of rods, reels, and baits designed and developed by these very same pros. If you have any questions about the Ducket Fishing lineup of pro-driven products, send us a DM on Instagram at Bass Tour Anglers Podcast, or go to our website, basstouranglers.com, and send us an email. We'll get back to you right away. Today's guest has fished the BAS Elite Series Tour since 2018. He's honored to call himself a chain rat, and that smile that accompanies that honor, you have to see it to believe it. He's coming off a strong tournament at the St. Lawrence River where he had a solid top 10 finish. Welcome to the Bass Tour Anglers podcast, Chris Groh. Thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure, Keith. You rock. Awesome. Glad we finally got to do this.
Absolutely, we're doing this in the morning because Chris is fishing a Wednesday nighter tonight, right?
Yeah, I come home. It's partially because I got to be on the water all the time just because I'm addicted, but. It's going to be nice to see all the rats, it's definitely going to be a lot of man hugging going on, but still, it's a cool division. Our Wednesday nighters pull out almost 40 boats, and there's 2 divisions on the chain, which is nuts. The other division pulls like 15 and 20. If people wouldn't be so bullheaded and united, we'd be fishing for $1,000 every Wednesday night with 50 something boats, which I don't understand, but let's go back to politics and flush it down the toilet. So
absolutely.
But yeah,
sounds like a tournament organization.
100%. But it's cool though, because the reason, I'm not saying I have to fish, that. I love to fish, but it's cool. They have a cool championship. You got to fish X amount of tournaments, fall within their guidelines. And we're on the edge, me and my partner, because he travels and fishes as well. So we're both kind of like, let's get our points, because that championship is so much fun.
And let's face it, man hugs are way, way underrated.
I don't, man. The camaraderie between even whether it's my Elite Series buddies or my chain rats, it's weird what this sport does. It's nutty.
So when I first heard the term chain rat, I thought, oh, this guy must be from Florida, one of those Harris chains or something like that. We're not talking about the Harris chain or Kissimmee. We're talking about up north. Tell us about your chain.
Okay, so I'm born and raised here, basically Lake County-ish, McHenry County, Antioch area. I live in Spring Grove now, which is the next town over. So what we have is this is basically, Illinois is not known for many waterways. We got like Rend, which is decent. We've got Lake Michigan, of course, but this is the Fox chain of lakes. And it's just set up really diverse. Total water we have, we only have 16,000 acres, but got a combination of like, 12 to 13 different little lakes. Some don't even have names. 2 rivers on each end, but the fishing is just very diverse. You can do a lot of different things, and the place is just coming on. I mean, you don't have 16, 17 pounds. You're not winning. That's for sure. So, and that doesn't matter what time of year.
And I'm guessing these are probably brown fish, not green fish,
No,
right?
no,
Oh, really?
combination. We have a weird season. We protect the brown fish through the spawn here because it's been getting so good. We've had a lot of, and this is another political one for you. I mean, we've had a lot of control on the water, and there's nothing in the system. So some of the rivers north that had a lot of smallmouth, those fish are, not just being caught by us and brought back to the lakes and released. They're migrating more, because they can't sustain anything up there. Ain't got no current. There ain't no food. So they're getting the heck out of there, So they protect the season. You're not allowed to keep a smallmouth or put a smallmouth in the live well for a tournament until after June 15th. So it's really sucks, though, those April tournaments when you catch 4-pound smallmouth and got to kiss goodbye. So, but it's made it awesome. Or like this last weekend, there was a 4-pounder weighed in. Basically, from when it opens till October, if you don't have a 3 and change plus smallmouth in your bag, you're definitely not in the top 3.
4 years on the Elite Series. Let's talk about how and where your journey began. Talk about how you qualified for the Elite Series.
Yeah, no, I went the hard way. I don't mean to bring it up, but we're definitely, there's a few of us like me, Randy Sullivan, Billy Weidler, Jake Whitaker, which is a stud. We're OGs, we qualified when life was life and bass was reigning still. I get it, but you understand what I'm saying? When a lot of these other anglers love bass too. So I qualified in 2018 through the Opens. So I basically went on and fished against like Messiahs, like KVD and all that type stuff. But the road to it, Rocky. We'll keep it short. My story's out there. I owned a tile business, a construction type thing. And I kind of just was ready to go. I wanted to try this and put myself against some of these guys. So I went and did the Opens first year there. I think it was 2015, 16. Went and did that. Literally signed up for all of them. Like life was good. All of a sudden, life changes in a freaking heartbeat, dude. A heartbeat. I suddenly lose my father. Then, you get through a couple weeks and, I'm taking care of mom. And she's just like, you're an idiot. The only way you're going to cope. It's winter here, snow, ice, freaking pick one of the divisions and go. So I kind of long story short, picked the Southerns. I said, okay, cool. And the only way I'm going to cope is by myself on the road fishing. Got in the truck, traveled with my good buddy, Matt Steffen, Trevor Lowe, and all that, and another good buddy, Vice. And we kind of just hit the Opens trail, started off in Florida. And basically my mom was cool because my last tournament would be in Douglas in May. So I would be done by the time basically snow don't leave the ground here till April, so went and did that. Fast forward, had an epic freaking time, coped my dad's death, ended up finishing 7th in points. It's the year Wheeler qualified and stuff, and he double qualified. So it bumped up a spot, got MGJ in there. And I was just on the bubble, but I got a mega taste for it, So that next year we put all in. I worked up more sponsors and I did all the divisions of the Opens and went on the Rocky Road all over, End of the year, things work out in my favor. I have some decent finishes in the northern finish and in the northern circuit. And I qualify again. I take the last spot and I qualify for the elites and then that was 4 years ago.
Now that's a great story. There's 2 things I want to remember to ask you about. First of all, you mentioned that you travel with Matt Steffen. Has he told you his Bigfoot story?
Oh yeah, I know all about his shit. You understand, Matt Steffen is an OG chain rat. This is where he started.
Was that right? Okay, he didn't mention that, but that's good to know.
And I'll tell you right now, Keith, we talked earlier off air and, if some 2 changes do occur in life and I continue to fish, that is the most refreshing thing that I will have the awesomest roommate. You know what I mean? I just left. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm going to come off having awesome roommates, but me and Matt Steffen gel well together. And he really helped me during a time of, you know, I needed to mourn. I lost my dad. We were still fishing buddies. It just, dude, I couldn't have had it any other way that first year when I didn't qualify. You know what I mean? Because I was traveling with him. We were having a great time. We both made a 12 cut at Smith. Like, life was good. You know what I mean? We were out there wiggling around, old school rats. You know, he's a giant. I'm a little turd, you know, so. But
the other thing that I wanted to ask, wanted to mention is okay. So you qualified through the Opens, and you started 2015. So that's 3 years on the.
No,
Open
I did 2 years. 2 years on the Open.
Okay, doesn't matter. 2 years on the Open Tour. That has got to be the toughest tour in the country.
Oh gosh, it is. And yeah. I mean, you understand something. There's just so much hunger there.
and you're gonna fish 9 of those events. If you want to qualify for the elites, you're not going to just pick one region. Or I mean, some guys probably do, but
no. And then now the whole incentive of fishing of them all is huge.
Yeah,
I mean, look at that right now.
Yeah,
they're competing against 30 dudes to qualify for an elite spot. So.
Yeah, and it's just I have so much respect for guys that go through the Opens or the Toyota Series. Toyota Series is equally brutal.
Dude, there's seriously, I can't stand people that think that there's a difference. You know what I'm trying to say? These guys are all blood, sweat, and tears. You're popping 50 grand in entry fees. You're not coming out there. I mean, unless you're a multi-millionaire and you just don't care, but these guys are all come from hard work and blood, you know. I mean, 89% of them do. But, dude, they're hungry. These guys want it. And then you got the guys at the Open level, like you said, they're even hungry because they can't get the sponsor dollars. They don't got shit, and they are fishing for shit. You don't make money in the Opens. You know what I'm saying? So they're fishing for a trophy and for this prestige and to move. And it's hard, too, man. It's the same travel. Gas miles are the same. Gas costs the same. Hotels are the same.
I'm fascinated by this chain rat thing. I wanted to find out, does the fox chain fish like other parts of the country? Can you take what you learned growing up there and take it south, for example, or are there the techniques in those parts of the country vastly different?
It bodes well to be the best junk fisherman in the world. Okay. Got a lot of things to do, and it really learns you techniques.
That's important. That's a good skill. I mean? A good junk fisherman is.
So important. I would say it's the junk fishing capital of the world for us, you know, but as for conditioning and learning the South, it's also a different breed. But I could tell you this, and I'm just getting off the chain thing a hair because the chain rats all take advantage of what I'm about to say. We have some lakes close by just over the border and stuff where we can learn how to fish deep, fish for brown ones. You know, I cut my teeth all within 3 hours. The chain was definitely gave me everything. You know what I mean? I fished tournaments there since I was 12, 13 years old. Okay. So it's amazing place. Be able to get that, you know, that camaraderie of those dudes, but I'm 3 hours from La Crosse, so we fished there a lot, the river. 3 hours from Sturgeon Bay. We got Geneva, Delavan. We got a lot of stuff here to really set up the basis and make yourself, you know what I mean, a better angler, you know. But like I said, I feel like I am in a little bit of a hidden gem, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's a cool spot, and it's just, like I said, chain rats take advantage of all that. Like, you go see some some chain rats that are here every Wednesday, busting ass every weekend here fishing. They'll go fish a BFL and, you know, take second. These guys are good, dude. But you know what I mean? They breed them. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. There are better my Wednesday night partner is a far better angler than I have ever been. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He just, you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to say it. He just took job choice, family, life, and you know something, he's younger than me. He may stay go for it. You know, that's the good thing that I set up and did for these guys is, you know, I was like a 40-year-old virgin. You know what I mean? I qualified when I was 39. I mean, I'm just being straight. So you never put like whatever Rick Lund says, you know, greatest moments are never in the past.
So you mentioned Matt Steffen. Any other chain rats out there that we might be familiar with, or are they all very anonymous? How about Fighter? Is he in that,
well, you understand, fighter is just fighter's fighter. You know, like a guy like that, and let's just minus his prestige and everything he's done. Let's just say he was Seth fighter 5 years, you know what I mean, before he was on the elite.
Yeah.
I made such a connection, me and my team partner, with all these Minnesota cats before all this. Like, I knew Seth, you know what I mean? I knew Seth. I drank so many beers with Austin Felix. You have no idea. That kid, dude, you ain't believe what that kid's changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, it was awesome. So we got along so good. If Seth came here and jumped in a Wednesday nighter, he wouldn't get any hatred or anything, because he's got that chain rat, deal, But like, you were fascinated with the chain rats. I got to give credit to where it came from. I mean, these were some old timers. I don't know if you know about our area, but holy crap, back in the day, I'm talking like late 80s, 90s. You ready for this?
Sure, hit us.
They'd pull 100, 120 boat pro co-angler tournaments here and have full field.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where did 120 co-anglers come from? Chicago, Madison? Like, it was crazy. Northland Bass, and that's where the chain rats really started, because there was just a core of guys so they'd have this wheels kind of tournament, not wheels, but they'd travel. They'd go do like Geneva, they'd go do Winneconne, chain like twice. So these guys would do this circuit and bounce around, but they'd always be like, oh, we got to go come face the chain rats, because the top 5 spots were the same 5 dudes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny that within the last 10 years here, and then my success and me just – because the chain rats was well before I did anything. I just kind of grinded and threw the hashtag in front of it and just made it, my own. Not my own, but my people's, my boys, But you know what I mean? Like, it's just funny that it's transpiring now 20, 30 years later. There's the same top 5 guys. And it's
I certainly understand the concept. Out here, I'm in California. We have Delta rats, and
there you go.
You got guys like Ish Monroe. Ish Monroe's a Delta rat. Steve Reese, he fits in that category. And then you move out to the Colorado River, which is also pretty close by. We got river rats out there, and these are people that you're right. It's the same top 5 guys that just kill it all the time.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't mean to sound weird. They're humble as hell. Like, I mean, we just have fun, and we love it when someone else gets it. You know what I mean? And all these dudes are good anglers, but it's just crazy. You're this battling here. You come in with 14, 15 pounds. You're like, oh, I think I might have it today. And you take 5th. You're like, holy shit, So yeah, no, it's, I like I said, I love it. I get giddy like a little kid. I mean, I'm out here rigging poles for Wednesday night, I mean, I'm sure I've got smallmouth everywhere, but smallmouth gear everywhere, but I'm what the heck am I doing? Do I have issues? I'm rigging for a Wednesday night. So whatever. I'll take it though.
Talking to Chris Groh. He's an Elite Series, BASS Elite Series Pro, and he's giving us a great education on what it means to be a chain rat. Let's talk about the St. Lawrence River. What a smash fest.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had a 4-pound average, well, you did have a 4-pound average, but there were guys that had 4-pound averages that couldn't crack the top 10. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it was a blessed day 3. I just, you know what I mean? Like, this is the competitor in me. This event could have been way more exciting. I mean, day one sucked. I mean, I weighed 19.2 with a 2-pounder in the box and lost one like 5 1/4.
Oh,
and you know what I mean? Like, and I even lost like a 3 1/4 at the end of the day. So no matter what, we might come in with 20 pounds and change or 23. So you got that. And then day 2, sure, I got 17.9 quick, getting ready to go to my best spot. I have issues, motor issues, and was in Guardian and knew I had to wait to make the cut. Needed 10 grand, so I nursed it. I never seen a marshal gosh, Richie, this guy Richie, he's over there just praying. We're going like 38 miles an hour, just barely slide in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ready to shut down. So, I mean, so I got that. And then I just, I felt like my back against the wall and I knew what my spot had. I knew what was there. I knew them fish were down there because of my aqua view. Real thing that I like to do on the St. Lawrence. It's really good because your graphs can't really tell the tail that much because these fish will hug the bottom in current, and then you'll mistake rocks for bass because they're on the bottom, and it cracks you up. You won't see anything on the graph. Put the camera down there, it's 40. So basically, history and my aqua view boded well. I mean, I had this spot set up. I mean, Zona called it the frickin', what do you call it? The Stonehenge where the witches and banshees crawl. Like it was crazy. It was like a white sand beach and 28 feet of water. And you'd make this drag down this big underwater point. And midway through the underwater point, there was a freaking little hump on the underwater point itself, like the size of a freaking car. And it only come up 4 feet, but white sand beach would stop and like be around that hump, and there'd be a bunch of cobblestone rock up on the top of it, and that would come up until like 24, maybe 25. And then once you come off that, you get back in the sand in like 30, and then at like 30, 35, you'd hit these cobblestone rocks again. Then if you get through that portion right there and don't catch a rat or like a 3-pounder, it's game on, because now you're in freaking danger zone. This is insane. So I'm just drifting, big tube. You get what I mean? Like current strong there. So I'm just keeping on the bottom. So I get through this area, and I mean, I would call my shots. I would go to my marshal, like, okay, I'm either going to get snagged because these rocks look like Stonehenge. They stood up. There was like 7 or 8 of them right where it went from 36 to like 54. So they were sitting in like 45, 47. And these rocks would stand up, you know what I mean? And have this wall on them. When I found it, I got the camera going, and the camera would fall off the edge. So the camera's twirling. I'm seeing brown, an eyeball. Oh my gosh. Like, dude, the camera's spinning. I'm seeing just megas like sitting behind these rocks. And then the camera hits the bottom, finally pick it up. And the camera actually this is how it worked. It has a setting on it where it keeps it level. It popped out because of the rocks. So it was shooting straight up. I'm going up, like into the light of the sun, And in these rocks, dude, I am just looking at mega after mega after mega. So I'm like, unbelievable. So basically, I would call my shot. If that tube would either get snagged or literally, Keith, I would break off without even feeling anything. All of a sudden, I'd be like, holy crap, I have nothing, because they're so sharp. If I got through there on the other side, that's where the witches were. Because, dude, you would load up. Think about this. Down that spot. Okay, I called on other areas. I had another deep spot that I called, got me into the 24-pound range. But in the 3 days off that hole, I caught a 5 3/4, a 5 1/4, a 5 just over 5, one just under 5, and like a 4 1/4 off that. And dude, I lost one on day. That's where I lost the big one. I hooked this big one. It's a giant. Because if they would jump once and land, I knew I had them. I just had to play them out. I would say 5 1/4, big black one, I fight it. It's dead tired. Like, it is like going subsurface. Like, I have it done. I turn them, literally just turn them and bring them by the front. As I turn them, I just see slow motion, dude. He just kind of veers off. Tube just comes out. So, but all in all, blessed Derby, awesome time. And it just, day 4, just, I don't know, man. Day 4, I got there, and I told my old lady, I said, it ain't going to be good with that wind gassing against the current. Said I've known that my whole life. So
it was a magic spot that got you almost 25 pounds, or almost a 5-pound average on day 3.
Yep.
Then.
Yep.
And then, and then on day 4, I was going to ask, because so the wind changed, and
I got there and it was gassed. You know what I mean? Like, it was to the point where I could catch a drift the opposite way. I put a 3/4 ounce tube on and literally just like drifted the other way. And basically I ain't gonna lie to you, Keith, that practice, that 3 days, I cameraed, say I practiced for 12, 13 hours. I cameraed for 10 hours, 9, 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so, you know, I knew what was there. So I kind of just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so the point of the matter is like I said, I told my girlfriend, I'm like, this is bad. This wind's gassing, and it'll stand up that current. But what it was also doing is in practice, one of my best spots from 2019, I went and I checked that with the camera, and there was a similar situation. It was one of those days where it was gassing against. I get down there, I put the camera down there, can't even see the bottom. Everything's churning against that current. So now that, you know what I mean? Everything's just sloshing. So in my mind, I knew right when I got there that that's what was going on. I didn't have the camera with me, of course, but I was just like, yep, that's what's going on. So like I said, before I got to my spot, I caught a 5-pounder. I mean, I went shallow through a fluke up there and caught a big one. But after that, I went just scrambling. And, you know, I said, I left her, I gave it 2 hours, which is probably 1 hour too much, but then I had to, but then I bailed out and went shallow. And, you know, I didn't get that much coverage, of course, but I totally muffed a few. Lost one on a hair jig that I should have had. I had great time with EK, cameraman. It was a surreal day. I don't care. I'll take that 9 pounds again for 3 fish any day on day 4.
You know, it's interesting to me in this, we're going through this evolution of electronics, and I remember the AquaView, and you don't hear anybody talk about AquaView anymore because it's not.
Well, we don't want to.
It's not. What's that?
No, we don't want to. It's a northern thing. I
was gonna say,
it's all of us.
All you hear about is forward facing and real time and all this kind of stuff. But you're right. There are times when those fish are hugging tight that you can't.
I mean, I'm being straight with you.
Yeah.
It is a necessity, and probably on the Colorado River is a necessity for clear, high current areas.
Yeah,
because our graphs can't do anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't. And it's been a foolproof method for me, because what it did was I'd mark where fish are.
Yeah.
If I'm watching guys in practice going down stretches, I camered it. There isn't a bass there. Have a good time wasting practice, because there is not a bass there. No bass there. And they were setting up on weird stuff this year, because what was crazy about the camera is I saw the riggers of the post spawn, Keith, like fish that were just mangled, you know, 5s and 6s on the bottom, just recut. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing hook holes, you're seeing it. And what they were doing is, before the juicy hump, you know, where everyone wants to be, they were sitting in these little tiny flats off to the side in like 40, 44. There'd be 8 of them down there. There'd be 3, you know what I mean? And you couldn't catch them at all. And to be honest with you, I finally, that's like I told you on day 3, I went and checked one of mine. I had like 4 or 5 megas sitting on one of those, you know, like, I think I actually, dude, I am not being a weirdo or whatever, but I actually think I caught the fish I saw on the camera. I mean, I have it, you know what I mean? Like, it was a big black one, big long one with, you know, a beat up tail.
Yeah.
And that last fish I caught there, I went there and I actually pull up, I call. Because I had like a 370, I put a 4-pounder in there. So I'm like, oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Make another pass, catch like a 3.5. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I make another pass, literally get through the stretch. And I mean, it's all documented. You see me lift the trolling motor, turn back to my Marshall. I'm like, I'm going to let the wind's doing its job. I'm going to let it take me. I got 2 boulders out there I found in 2018. We're going to drift just past them. I literally drifted. I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen now. Hook up. And I'm like telling him, I'm fighting him. And I'm like, hey, put your stuff away. It's a rat. I could totally, you see my demeanor. I'm just working on it. All of a sudden, it sees the boat. And straight, you see the Marshal. He just pulls out his camera. He's like, tuna alert, tuna alert. Thing just starts ripping. Submarines right at me. Gives up, just belly it. And I look, I said, oh my God. And I really got emotional on that one.
Thing's sounding, isn't it? Like a tuna. That's it.
Fishing tomorrow. That's 4 pounds. Holy cow. Dude.
Let's have a look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
But that was one of those areas that the camera showed their self. I mean, I couldn't even catch them in practice. I was like, every night I'd stop there and be like, did you bite one? Just one.
So let's talk about the flogger now. This is something that that we've known about, but we haven't seen
right there.
a couple of events recently. We've seen them out there. Now at the Bass 2 Anglers podcast, we're calling it a bathoscope now because that's the scientific word. Because if you go on Amazon to order a flogger, you're going to get something very different.
Yes. Yeah. Be careful.
Is that a chain rat thing? Is that a?
Oh, that's a Geneva thing.
Geneva thing.
A little lake over the border, about 25, 30 minutes from here. Every year there's a big spawn tournament there, a big smallmouth spawn tournament, and that's all it is. They're flogging. If you don't got a flogger in the boat, you're not cashing check. No. Because them big ones want to spawn deeper because of what we've done. Pressure.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And guess what? I don't care what anyone says. It's a tool, but you know what else it is? For team tournaments, it's a freaking gas, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Chris and Corey. They win the Resurgent Bay Open. All these guys. My buddy, he fished with his wife, and she flogged the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, It's fun. Eat it. Set the hook. Like you're just having a blast. I don't care what anyone says. These are fish. Catch them. They're going back in. Life is good. I mean, you get to use it like literally in only certain situations. It's not a largemouth.
It's crazy because about a month ago, I'm watching the Major League, the Bass Pro Tour, and I see all these guys laying on their bellies. This is really strange. This is a really strange fishing position to be laying on your belly.
Yeah. How about Josh Douglas, though? How about how Josh Douglas does it? He uses an ice fishing rod.
Yeah, I've heard guys talk about that. That's
always right on it, man.
That's great.
And he lands them all.
Change. It's inevitable. To improve, you must adapt. The sport is evolving. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change of basic concepts. Don't get left behind. Introducing Paradigm. Paradigm Reels by Duckett Fishing. Pro-driven.
We're talking to Chris Groh. He is the #1 chain rat, and he's given us a good rundown on his tournament at the St. Lawrence. Chris, you posted a very emotional message on Instagram during practice for the St. Lawrence River, and your weigh-ins were also emotional last week. Can you tell us what's that's all about? What's going on?
I mean, it just, emotions are high because of everything. I mean, I had a rough year. I've had a rough couple of years. But, it's a lot of, I don't know, the adrenaline is going and you worked hard and you just look at the people that helped you. It's just a lot of emotions come out. You know what I mean? It's tough, but it also in my mind, you know what I mean? The part of me is sad because this, bass, it's cut time, and I haven't measured up to the grade and I'm a realist. As sure as hell I know, and I've made some great friends. I've had some awesome memories, Keith. And it's, I don't know. I wanted to go out with such a bang. I was so disappointed by missing the cut at Champlain. I had so much more in the tank there. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm not making excuses. No, a lot of it just culminates between the emotions of, possibly leaving the elites. This is one to ponder on. No one sits there, you hear every message, of positivity in life, but no one ever tells you what happens when you attain that goal and you attain that dream you had since you were 8, 9 years old watching Bassmasters on TNN and it's about to be taken away. I don't have an answer for you. I'm going through the feelings. I feel like I should write a book. I don't know if anyone would read it, but it's tough, man. It's tough. I feel like I'm getting dumped like by, the best girlfriend ever, but you have to take the good out of this and you have to take the fact of the person I am. I'm a realist. Do you want me to sugarcoat it and say I had a good, good season? No. So I don't know. And I needed that top 10, buddy. Like that was just, I mean, that just felt it. And me and Mercer are close friends, to be able to have him announce and put me out like that. Like I mean, he's great at his job, but it's nice to know that he ain't making shit up. He's true. And, you know, my roommates, I never like went behind the stage after that happened and just seen my peers, my brothers, my other elites, I don't know. They showed me so much love. It was tough.
Well, what I found to be very touching, to be quite honest with you, is on that Instagram post, there were like 160, 180 replies. And as I go through and look at those, I mean, almost the entire, let's say 3/4 of the whole elite field had posted, messages and I mean, wow, that speaks very highly for how you're appreciated by your peers.
It was flooring,
They understand fishing.
Yeah. And I mean, all of them. I mean, you gotta understand. It's just I can't even stop. I don't. You know what I mean? There's no bad blood out there. It's just they're great people. I mean, look at Mullins, what he did. I mean, what is it? What is this crazy hillbilly doing? And just we've had such a bond, me and that cat. And a whole bunch of other ones. I'm gonna miss some of them. Some of the young kids. Tried my best to help Welcher and keep him calm, even though he's just a maniac. And I mean, he ain't gonna have no trouble catching them. But me and him became good friends. A lot of, conversations after the ramp, and I don't know. I'm going to miss a lot of these cats, that's all. So emotions run high. It's, you know what I mean? I've got my family, friends here. I got my rats that I love dearly, but man, it was a band of brothers,
Yeah. So. You've got a massive list of sponsors. So you should be in good hands wherever you end up or wherever you end up doing. What does your future look like right now? Do you know? Too soon to tell?
I mean, I would say it could be too soon to tell, but I'm preparing for the worst. I'm going to be straight with you. I have a feeling that a lot of this is happening for a reason, and I don't know, maybe I need a reset or whatever, but I'll tell you right now, chain rats don't die. So it's something, I'm going to do something. I'm not done. I got way too much gas in the tank for an old rat. So we're, let's just say we got some options, and I'm excited to see what the future, prevails. And I'm excited that my head is fully out of my ass, because I want to freaking win bad. And I want to do it for my mama, my girl, the rats, my friend, my sponsors, my silent sponsors, Triangle Sports and Marine, just these people. I want to I literally can care less about the money. I can care less about anything. I just want to hold a big ass trophy. And I'll tell you right now, I got 2 chances to make the Bassmasters Classic left. I had the Central Opens, and we're going to my 2 favorite bodies of water. And I got some momentum. They better watch out, because I'm taking one of them, so I can at least freaking fully go out with a bang and go to the Classic next year on one of my favorite holes, Hartwell, and go hang out with all my boys and freaking groove and move and go make some noise there. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Something magical is going to happen in one of these Opens. Trust me.
Well, Chris, I really appreciate you being with us today. You are an electrifying personality, and I've enjoyed having you on. And I feel like in the short amount of time, we didn't know each other before today. In the short amount of time, I feel kind of like a chain rat. You just make people feel.
You have got a spot in someone's boat here. I'll give you an old rat. You can get a new dumb rat that they don't put their plugs in their boat. They don't charge their boats. You can get with one of them, or if you get lucky, you get with one of the kings out here. And anytime you're in Illinois, you have a spot on my couch. It's a nice couch.
That's awesome.
And you get some great Mexican food from my old lady, and awesome. You definitely get a spot in the boat with somebody.
All
I mean,
right.
you got a spot with me one day, but if you're going to fish a Wednesday or a Sunday, we will put you in the spot. I say you take one of the young, dumb ones because they're lucky as hell. They'll snag a 4-pounder in the tail.
Chris, thanks for being with us. Good luck to you, and we're going to keep following your story, and I know good things are going to happen.
Keith, I really appreciate all this. You the man, and let's keep in touch, boss. Chain rats for life. Thank you for this. Be good, boss.
You too, man.